The World War I movie, 1917, is being called an instant Oscar frontrunner. I agree. Watched it last night. It tells the story of two young British soldiers on a dangerous mission through enemy lines to save hundreds of lives. Oscar winner, that's Sam Mendes, directed, produced, and co-wrote the movie, which was inspired by his war hero grandfather.
Star George MacKay portrays Lance Corporal Schofield, who embarks on the life-or-death journey with his friend Blake. In this clip, the two soldiers are trying to escape from a booby-trapped German bunker.
We need to keep moving! Come on! I can't see! I can't see! Oh, stop! 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 It's a mine shaft! But we have to jump! Come on! No! You're going to have to jump! Just jump! I can't see! You need to trust me!
Trust me?
1917 just earned 3 Golden Globe nominations, including Best Drama and Best Director. Sam Mendes and George MacKay are with us. Both of you, good morning. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Good morning. Lovely to be here.
Sam, this film is really a tribute to your grandfather, Alfred,
That's
correct?
Right.
Who was in World War I.
That's right. He enlisted as a 17-year-old, and but he never talked about his experiences in the war, even to his own children.
He was a message carrier? What was he exactly?
He was. He carried it. Well, that was one of the things he was asked to do, because he was very small. He was 5.5 feet, and the mist hung at 6 feet in no man's land in the winter. They sent him with messages so he couldn't be seen above the top of the mist by the enemy.
Wow.
Yeah. That he was 17, and he never spoke about it until his 70s, and but he happened to speak about it with his grandchildren.
And then when he told you, you thought, there's a story here? Is that what happened?
Yeah, as an 11-year-old. I'm going to make a movie about it one day. No, actually, I felt it was his story.
Oh, you were a little boy. Okay.
Well, it was his story. It wasn't mine to tell in a way. It was only later, after making movies, that and beginning to have the courage to write my own, that I thought that was the story that I wanted to tell. What if that man who was carrying the message just kept going?
So, and there you are, George. Because this is the thing. I'm not necessarily a fan of war movies, but what I like, this to me was more of a human story. The struggle of these two inexperienced soldiers who were trying to deliver this really life and death message in real time. And for you, it meant what?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think war is unequivocally the context for it, but it's like it's an arena in which humans are stretched to their absolute limits, you know, like physically, emotionally, and then therefore kind of what you come back to. I think that's what it was for me, anyhow.
Yeah. So visually, it's a very unique experience, right? You get a sense of it from the clip we saw, but the whole movie, in fact, has many more scenes where there's a long, unbroken camera shot. And I was learning ahead of time that you actually had the actors in the beginning walk all of the scenes, do their lines, and then you built the set around their natural paces. Why'd you do it that way?
Well, because it's one continuous shot. It's 2 hours of real time. And I wanted the audience to experience those 2 hours exactly as the characters do. I wanted them to feel every second passing, take every step of the journey with the characters, and feel the physical difficulty of the journey. So the challenge was then we had to make everything join up. It's one long set. And of course, when the set is landscape, farmhouses, towns at night, canals, trenches, water, you have to measure everything. We didn't build a trench until we knew exactly the scene we were trying to build it for. So we built over a mile of trenches, you know, and we even had to measure the river that he gets into.
How did you know that George could do that? Because let's talk about
the physical.
Better question is
you don't, you just do.
But the physicality of it all, and they said, I read that you insisted on doing your own stunts. You know you could have had somebody do that for you. Why did you want to do it yourself?
Well, it's a mixture of, like, it's one, I just want to be involved as much as possible, and two, there's, you know, when the camera doesn't cut, there's not too much chance to swap someone else in. So it's a kind of a mixture of necessity and just you know, wanting to get involved.
I threw him into the river, that's the truth.
That was the last audition.
There's one very dramatic scene we saw, I think, a bit of it before, where you're running through a field and the bombs are going off, and I was struck by the fact that that's not CGI. You had, what, 500 extras?
We did, yeah.
See here. It's amazing.
Yeah, they are all real explosions, and they are real.
Those are real.
They're real human beings.
That was CGI too.
Yeah, no, it's all real, and I take a tumble as well, and that's all. You know, it just that one actually just happened by mistake. So
the tumble by mistake.
You know, when the
I was going to say a lot of great acting.
Was it by mistake? Did you have some stuff that was by mistake?
There's a few. Yeah, that's the thing. Is, you know, within these long sequences, you want to have the kind of unexpected moments to keep the whole thing alive.
What did this movie mean to you? This part mean to you playing this guy?
I think, well, it's an honour to be, you know, one, to work with Sam and with all the team, to remember all those that fought, and then also, kind of what I was saying, that what the whole thing was about to me is you know, remembering what's most important to you. You know, when you go through a journey that properly stretches you, it's then what you come back to.
That properly stretches you. I like that.
Sam, how do you think your grandfather would feel about this film?
Well, I think that he was a storyteller by trade. I mean, he was a novelist, and I think he would be proud that a member of his family, you know, ended up telling stories too. But I also think he might have struggled to watch it as a man who couldn't talk about it for 60 years. So there would have been a certain... I mean, we have a name for it now, PTSD, you know.
Yes.
But I think that, you know, putting him back in the middle of it, he might have struggled with it.
Yeah. We called it shell shock back then.
Yeah, they did indeed.
Well, you're you both are definitely in the Oscar conversation. How are we feeling about that, George?
I think like any kind of buzz around the film, this is like properly a film to be made, that's made to be seen in the cinema.
Yeah,
so like if folks can see it in the cinema, that's the best thing that can come from, you know, any sort of buzz around the film.
So true.
You know.
You would agree with that. You've got to see it on a big screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Don't watch it on your iPhone or your computer.
That's why we made it.
Like you did last time?
Tony, I'm happy to say I have a very big television.
I think it's a very big telephone.
Yes, it's not as big as a movie screen, but it's pretty big.
All right.
So I got the feel. Thank you, Sam Mendes and George MacKay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congrats, guys. Congrats.